Sometimes, all it takes is one moment, one choice, one small, almost invisible act of courage to change the direction of a life forever. Not everyone will see it. Not everyone will understand it, but those who do, they rise. This is the story of a boy named Ethan and a silent promise he made to himself on a rainy afternoon that would shape the rest of his life. Ethan lived in a place where the sky always seemed a little grey, not because of the weather, but because of the weight he carried. He was 15, quiet, ordinary on the outside, but inside he was fighting a storm. Every morning he walked the same route to school, past the cracked sidewalk, past the cold stairs, past the echo of things people said when they thought he wasn't listening. Too slow, too weird, too quiet. It wasn't bullying exactly, but it wasn't kindness either. It was the type of rejection that wasn't loud, but constant. And so, Ethan stopped trying. He sat at the back of the class. He didn't raise his hand. He didn't go out for lunch. He blended in so well, it was almost like he didn't exist. But then came the rain. One Friday afternoon, as the final bell rang and students scattered like leaves in the wind, Ethan stayed behind. The rain had come suddenly, turning the schoolyard into a maze of puddles. He stood at the front steps, watching, and then he noticed something. A girl, new to the school, holding a broken umbrella, her books soaked through. She looked lost, unsure of where to go. No one helped. They walked past her. They laughed. They didn't see her discomfort, but Ethan did. He didn't plan what happened next. He didn't rehearse it. He just stepped forward, took off his jacket, and held it above her books. She looked at him surprised. "Thank you," she said. He nodded, just once. They walked in silence for a while, under the pouring sky. And when they reached the corner where their paths split, she said, "You know, most people wouldn't have done that." He smiled slightly, not with pride, but with something deeper, like the storm inside him had paused just for a moment. That weekend, something changed. Ethan sat at his desk and opened his sketchbook, something he hadn't done in months. He drew, not because someone told him to, but because he wanted to. It was the girl, standing in the rain, but she was smiling. That simple act, unnoticed by the world, lit a spark inside him. He started saying hello to classmates. Not all of them responded, but some did. He answered a question in math class. He joined a school art contest. He didn't win, but he entered. And for the first time in a long time, he didn't feel invisible. 2 months later, Ethan found a letter in his locker. There was no name on the envelope, just 3 words written neatly on the front. "Thank you, stranger." Inside was a drawing. It was of him, holding his jacket over someone else's books, rain pouring down around them. On the back, the message read, "That day, you showed me that quiet people can be brave too. You reminded me that kindness doesn't need an audience. I hope you never forget that." Ethan folded the note slowly, placed it in his sketchbook, and closed it with care. Not because the moment was over, but because it had only just begun. From that day on, Ethan became something unexpected, a quiet leader. He didn't shout, he didn't seek attention, but he showed up, every day. He volunteered to help others with homework. He picked up litter no one else would. He smiled first. He listened more than he spoke, and slowly those around him began to change too. Not because he told them to, but because they saw what quiet strength looks like. Sometimes we wait for the big moments. We think change needs to be loud, that courage needs to be obvious, that strength looks like muscles or power. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes strength is stepping forward when no one else does. Sometimes courage is choosing kindness when it would be easier to stay silent. And sometimes one small act, One rainy afternoon is the beginning of everything.